Welcome to Tapestry of Faith.
This series highlights how people from different cultures and backgrounds are all united in their common Catholic faith. Now, throughout the show, we're going to be visiting various ethnic apostolates throughout the Brooklyn Diocese. Today, we're going to visit two very distinct groups, the Brazilian Apostolate.
And later in the show, we'll visit with the Pakistani Apostolate in their weekly gathering of the faithful.
But let's check out the Brazilian Apostolate first, that celebrates a lot of their weekly gatherings at St. Rita's Parish in Queens.
Brazil is the largest country in South America. It occupies the area along the eastern coast that extends well into the continent's interior. Most of the country is covered by the Amazon rainforest. The climate varies from mild to tropical in different regions. In the 16th century, Portuguese settlers and missionaries arrived and colonized Brazil, introducing their language, the Catholic religion, and colonial architectural styles. Other cultural influences, mostly from Italian and German settlers, are found in the southern areas. Portuguese is the official language of Brazil, which makes it a national culture distinct from its Spanish-speaking neighbors. It is the largest Catholic nation in the world, with an estimated 137 million Catholics, representing 74% of the national population. It is said that the first Mass celebrated in Brazil was on Easter Sunday in the year 1500. The first diocese was established in 1551, and today there are over 250 dioceses. The 130-foot tall statue of Christ the Redeemer that overlooks the city of Rio de Janeiro is the most recognized symbol of Brazil.
Today, we're going to visit the Brazilian Apostolate. I'm here in front of the Church of St. Rita in Long Island City. But first, let's discover a little bit more about the apostolate's role in the community. Check it out.
This is a great experience because I can share with people how is my experience with Christ and how is my experience in life involved with the community.
The Brazilian community in Astoria is a big community. Yes, it is. Most of them came from the same state in Brazil. Because of this, they come to the Mass, they like to stay together, to share, to celebrate the faith together.
And this experience is kind of deep and kind of like renewed in my life.
I'm happy here because we have a place. A church is like a house. You finish the job, you say, I go home. You go home where? My house. I see my father, I see my mother.
For me as a priest and as a coordinator in the Brazilian Apostolate in the Diocese of Brooklyn, is to build a strong community in faith.
Because here I have I'm more into it. My faith is much larger than before, and I feel this is much real than before. The difference is I can put my heart into it. I can put my life into it.
Is to help the church to move on, to function properly, and also to help the others.
I have excellent people with me. I have a good leaders, excellent lay people. They help me a lot.
It's like you have a two family, you have two countries. That's what I'm feeling. I like something over here, but I love something in my country too.
I am trying to be here with the people. I am trying to understand the American way, especially in the Catholic Church in this country. The Brazilian community began in Most Precious Blood in 1993.
I'm the first one that came in this community. I helped to start this when no church, nobody, no mass, no priest.
Somebody from Brazil died, and they invited one priest to say the Portuguese Mass. That was the first Portuguese Mass. After that, they began to organize the families with prayer groups at home.
We go together in the home and pray, and after that we have a church, we have a place to meet in.
I found a small community, around 200 people, but in almost 6 years we are growing.
My country is 80% is Catholic. I think it's the one, the large country in the world, Catholic.
We will celebrate all the events that they do have in Brazil, relate with the Mass, and also something that is not related with the church at all, we do celebrate here as well.
In Brazil, we have a procession for everything. So we brought this to our community.
We get outside, we wear a procession, and come back to church. A simple homage to Our Lady, né?
Everyone knows Nossa Senhora Aparecida. That's like Mexico, Guadalupe, same thing.
We have a city in my country, our special, Aparecida do Norte, the city where it has a big church, and everybody go because they get a lot of miracle from her.
The history of Our Lady Aparecida, they found the image in the end of the 17th century. 3 fishermen found the image without head. When they found the head, in that time began a lot of miracles. Many people was very sick, they recuperate everything. The procession for us means we are not alone. We walk in the way with God and the Mother of Jesus.
That's very important for us as a tradition, and to be able to celebrate this Mass here in America.
I love when at this occasion when it happens, because you can feel like the side of God, the female side of God inside of us, as a mother taking care of us.
So that was a fascinating look at the Apostolates' origins. In our next segment, we're going to actually look at them celebrate Mass. So stick around and we'll be right back. Now today's Mass is special because the Apostolate is also celebrating Brazilian Independence Day. Let's go inside and take a look.
When we have the Mass in our language, we can express our feelings.
They feel much more at home, like the Word of God is more deep for them when they hear in Portuguese.
We were very grateful for the Brooklyn Diocese that has the opportunity to let us, and that all the immigrants have a Mass in their own language.
When I'm preaching, for example, I like to use the easy words to touch their hearts. As a Brazilian, we express more our happiness, our feelings during the Mass, because we sing, we pray together. In South America, it's completely different. We have more vocations, we have more priests, more energy. Yeah.
So what kind of events do you have?
We have typical parties, for example, in June and July, we celebrate San Anthony, St. Peter, and we make a big feast outside on a parking lot. It's very typical of Brazilians to do that. This is the day we always celebrate, is the independence of the Brazil.
The celebration of the independence of Brazil is a big thing, because it's their country, it's where they were raised. Just like we have our independence in America, they have their independence from Brazil. So for them it's a big thing, like it's their country, so they treat it like with a lot of respect.
And I believe, as you guys saw, our union here is the same feelings as I believe our ancestors had before in the past. We are united here as a family. And I believe my people years ago, they were united by this ideology of freedom as we are here.
The food is such an important part of the celebration, am I correct?
Yes, the food it's the main part of it. But the most difficult is really to get everybody together.
What does it mean for you to be a part of the Apostolate?
It means to me, it's like if I don't do the little that I can do, then we are going to lose the culture, the Brazilian culture in the United States.
So as you can see behind us, we're celebrating Brazilian Independence Day. What does that mean for you and your family and the congregation here?
Actually, you know, be Brazilian again, you know, because I really can't go back as often. You know, this is the only way I get to experience my culture and my language.
Thank you for the opportunity that a lot of people see that it has Brazilian community. We have a church, we have a priest.
They like to stay together, they like to sit, they like to talk, they like to share the life, the experience, the dreams, the hopes.
Someday, if you go back to Brazil, if, for instance, you have a family there that comes here, you tell them, go at Santa Rita's church, you're going to see part of the Brazilian church there.
It is a blessing for people, especially Brazilians. Sometimes some Brazilians just felt like they are alone, but they're not. We are here to help them out.
We are here today. That is because we have one bishop who respects, who understands the immigrant people, and he is always with us as immigrant people in the Diocese of Brooklyn.
I hope people know more about us and come to, you know, join us in this event and help us and, you know, do more things for the church.
This is our home. We are here. The Catholic Church in the United States can teach a lot of stuff to the Catholic Church in South America, but they can learn with us because we have more life. For me, this as a priest, this is the most important. We have more life.
The Brazilian Apostolate is a large group that is full of traditions and culture, and it is definitely giving St. Rita's Parish a lot of energy.
Welcome back to Tapestry of Faith. Before the commercial break, we learned about the Brazilian Apostolate. That apostolate looked so interesting. Mike, what was it like to cover that?
It was fantastic. You know, I didn't know much about the Brazilian culture before the program when we did the shoot, so listening to the Mass in Portuguese was actually amazing. And as you saw from the event, food, food, food. It was so good, and everybody was so friendly and helpful and proud of their culture. I had a great time.
That's definitely my favorite part. Next up in the show, we're going to visit with the Pakistani Apostolate in Queens, where they make their home. Let's take a look.
Pakistan is officially known as the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Located in southern Asia, this region was part of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, which was repeatedly invaded and settled over the centuries by neighboring kingdoms. Much later, the area became part of British India until 1947, when Pakistan was allowed to develop into an independent state. It became an Islamic republic in 1956 and has the second largest Muslim population in the world after Indonesia. Pakistan retains a rich and unique culture and has preserved its established traditions throughout its history. Many customs and cultural aspects such as food, dress, monuments, and shrines were inherited from the prior rule of Muslim and Afghan emperors. Christianity is the biggest religious minority group in Pakistan. There are approximately 1.5 million Catholics, which amounts to about 1% of the nation's total population of 160 million.
Now that we've learned about Pakistan, let's meet some of the members of the Pakistani Apostolate here at St. Anne's Church in Queens, New York.
It uplifts my own spirit. When I pray in my own language, I sing, we play music, you know, that lifts up, you know. And this way also, I'm serving others, but at the same time, I get nourishment for myself.
First of all, Father Anthony is my nephew, so I'm his uncle, so that's one thing. Secondly, he's my predecessor. He is the one who started actually really here service, Pakistani Apostolate, served this community for 7 years. So I came here just for summer help. and I knew I became part of this community, and that's why I decided to stay here.
You know, Father John is working very hard because they all work together always, Father John and Father Anthony. And you know, now Father Anthony, you know, is even though he's away, but he still come to church over here. He still help us.
This is a great blessing for me also as a priest to be part of this community.
It's a hard work, and knowing that this is a hard work, I want to assist when I have time. Sometimes I have mass there, so in my church at St. John of Arc, I can't come. But whenever I can, I come.
The great thing about them is they always welcome, they always listen. Any issues, any problems.
Father Anthony and Father John Francis, it's something about them, the way they just interact with you that kind of involves you.
We have a lot of immigrant issues with people, and they were very comfortable talking to them, and they, our priest, as well as, you know, we have spiritual guidance. They always guide them other way also.
Whether you speak to Father Anthony or Father John, either one of them, it's like talking to both of them. They'll know each other and they get along so well together.
We've been pretty comfortable. We've been pretty lucky, I should say, to have these two priests among us.
When we came here, we did not know about this church. It felt like, you know, you just don't have an opportunity to speak your language except your own home. But when you meet people over here, it's like you're meeting other families just like your relatives back home.
We are not like dispersed people. Even though now they move to different places, they know St. Anne's Church.
It has been a home for our Pakistani people, and we always feel good. You see, you feel like you are in home, away from home.
Time to time they come to us, they call us, and that means it is important to them. And that's, I will say, it's really growing not only in number, but in many ways. And that's why every time when we have service, we go down in the church hall and we have some sort of social, it's like fellowship, where they can share their suffering, their joy, their happiness. And so that really, they build their trust. And most of the people, they know one another. It's like really one true community. Like in the early church, we come together, we pray together, and then we share our meal together.
It's God's home, and everybody is you know, praying, worshiping in their own language, and if they have any issues, any problem, they're always comfortable to talk to priests.
This has become, if I can say, like real, true Jerusalem, and Jerusalem means house of bread. Here they come and receive spiritual food, more than that in Jesus himself. So that I'm really very happy to be part of this community and serve this community. 16 years ago when we started this, mainly they were single people, single in the sense like their family was not here. So now with the passage of time for the last 10 years, now once they already received green card or they became citizens, so now they are sponsoring their families. So in that sense, now we have more families here.
We are very family-oriented culture. So I have seen a lot of children, young people, families together coming to church.
And we try to help people as well, other than church. If anybody comes from our country and they need help or whatever, we try to help them any way we can.
Most of the immigrants from Pakistan, they come to New York here and they find this home is their home. When they come here, they will stay here for a few years. It's like other American, and then they move to Florida or some other better place. They feel that way, if they can afford. But this is their home actually.
The community is growing every day. Every Sunday we see few new people in the church, some new families in the church who have migrated in the past week or past month.
Now that we've met some of their members, when we come back from the break, we'll take a closer look at their Mass and we'll also learn more about their culture. Stay with us. Welcome back to Tapestry of Faith. Before the commercial break, we met some of the members of the Pakistani Apostolate and learned about their traditions and customs. Now we'll go to their Mass right here at St. Anne's Church. Let's take a look.
started coming to Pakistani Apostolate to hear Mass in my own language. It is great.
We didn't even have an idea that there was a Pakistani Apostolate. So we did try English Mass, and it was nice to attend the Mass, but we didn't feel the connection.
I feel so much close to God because I feel maybe God understands my language more than I would have prayed in another language.
You have already seen that it's a little longer than American Mass. Otherwise, it's the same, like the canon and everything is the same. Pakistani people, they love music. And you might have noticed when they come for 10-15 minutes, we just sing. I mean, thank God, it's part of our tradition. When we are waiting for other people to come, we keep on singing psalms, and so we keep the same tradition here.
Even if it's an ordinary Mass, we play music. Almost like we had a Mass plan today, it's almost the same way we have it. And everybody participates, everybody enjoys it.
It grows with you, that music and the prayers and your own language. That has some deeper attraction. You are able to express yourself more.
In our community, after the priest says one or two prayer of the faithful, he invites the community to participate. So people have the chance to maybe thank God, maybe pray to God for something they want, something for their families back home. I heard a lot of time people pray for the people they have back home. So this way our community, our apostolate is very different or special because we let the community participate in the Mass.
So the members of the Pakistani Apostolate just finished their Mass upstairs. They've all come down to the parish hall to celebrate and socialize. Let's go talk to some of them and see what they have to say. So how did you end up at St. Anne's Church?
Actually, when I came into this country, I was all by myself, no relatives, no friends. So that was the only church was supporting me. I mean, I feel like being in Pakistan because all these people from my country. At that time, I didn't know how to speak English, not very well. I mean, so that was the only support I had over here.
Wow, so you're doing great now.
Yes.
And they brought you into their family, right?
Yes, yes.
We're here with Samina, and we have some traditional Pakistani food for the celebration. Tell us a little bit about it. I see cookies that look very tasty, and I know these are some sweets that you've made up. What did you put into these sweets in the kitchen that make them so delicious?
Well, the white ones are chum chum. They're the milk powder and some cheese, and they're deep fried and put lots of syrup. And these are gulab jamun. Gulab is actually rose, but I'm not sure if this has anything to do with rose.
Okay. That's just the name, the origin of the name?
Yes.
Okay. Today is your birthday, I hear, right?
Yes.
And how old are you today?
9.
9 years old. And what are they doing to celebrate your birthday?
We're gonna cut cakes and we're gonna eat and they're gonna say happy birthday. So they're gonna wish me and stuff.
What kind of wishes are they gonna make for you?
I don't know.
You're not sure? Now, what's the history behind St. Anne's that brought you to this church as opposed to another one?
This is my language, for Urdu language. And my whole family came to here.
That's great.
Yeah, my mother, my brother, sister, and my whole family.
Yeah.
To me, it gives me so much more opportunity. I feel so much more connected spiritually ever since I started coming to this church.
They feel that is a part of this community, and what is part of their culture, they find that thing in reality here also.
When I am here, I feel very good when I come over here, because here is a God's presence, blood of God, bread, everything.
I'm still with this church, and I love when I came here, I feel like I came back my home again.
I think it's a blessing, and some people were talking to me today after the Mass. Father, I'm so happy here that not only we can come as a community to worship, but also the freedom they got.
It was a huge bonus when you find out you have Mass in your own language, and you have your pastors who visit your home just like back home. It's like taste of being back home with the freedom, which comes as a bonus, that you can express yourself and just be who you are.
As you see, we're doing the best, and I always said our church is #1 in New York as far as Pakistani Christians concerned. And I'm proud to say that. You know, we are very active, you know, as you see. We have a great music, great everything, great people, great priest, most of all.
As we saw, this small but growing apostolate really knows how to combine their faith with their culture. Their music and traditional clothing are a very important part of celebrating their faith.
Well, that group definitely had the feel of a small, tight-knit family. How was it covering the Pakistani Apostolate?
I really enjoyed that group of people. You know, they really do convey a sense of community. All the families gather together for every holiday and birthday, and they really enjoy spending time with one another.
Wow, and it's so interesting to see from the two groups that we covered today how amazingly different they are.
That's true, they do have a lot of differences, but you can also see their similarities. Their culture and traditions all combine to create a unique faith that's celebrated really beautifully.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us.
Don't forget to check out our website. I'm Angela Cohen.
And I'm Michael Rossetti. Come back next time for another episode of Tapestry of Faith.